Good morning, everybody. How are you? No. That's not the spirit. We need to be more enthusiastic. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Good morning. There you go. That's the pride of South Laredo spirit right there. Welcome to Cigarroa High School, Dr. Leonidas D. Cigarroa High School. We're very honored to have all of you here this morning for the presentation of the JET grant that we are receiving for the third time. And we were talking with Commissioner Alvarez right now that we're probably the only other school that has received this grant for more than 2 times, and we surely appreciate that. The most important thing that we need always to keep in mind is that we're working for one purpose and one purpose only, which is to give our students the best opportunities to develop, to grow, and to experience things before they can join the workforce, either when they finish high school, when they finish an associate degree, bachelor's, or whatever it is, that they have the experiences necessary to be able to meet the challenges and to meet the demands of the people that I'm going to be working with. So for that reason, I appreciate each and every one of you being here and showing your commitment, not only in word, but also in actions, with the youth of Laredo and Laredo Independent School District, and more specifically Cigarroa High School. So thank you very much. And now I'm going to go to the introductions. First, I would like to welcome our super board member, because she really does a lot, and we are very appreciative of everything that you do. Miss the Honorable Monica Garcia, Secretary of the Board and Representative for District 7. And then our fearless leader, a lady that has worked very, very hard for all high schools and all schools in Laredo, but she being a former high school principal, she knows how difficult it is and the challenges that we face, and she has been championing us for the past 5 years, Dr. Rios, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Silvia Rios, the Superintendent of Laredo Independent School District. Also, we would like to welcome the representative for the Honorable Richard Raymond, our state representative for District 42, Ms. Graciela Villarreal, District Director. Also, for the Honorable Tracy King, State Representative for District 80, her representative right now, Ms. Elena Garcia Overbo, Chief of Staff. Mr. Julian Alvarez, Texas Commissioner representing Labor. Sir? Please stand up, sir, and be recognized. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. We have had the pleasure of meeting some years ago, about 5 years ago, and I'm still amazed that he remembered me. So thank you very much, sir. I mean, it's 5 years. And usted se ve igualito, sir, but me, I don't know. Okay?
Same suit.
I can tell you what you were wearing that day. It was a white shirt that said the Texas Workforce Commission. You were not in suit. You were ready to work and walking around the school. So that was a good thing. Also, we have Ms. Edna Sepulveda, Director of South Texas Training. A very important partner in these endeavors that we take here at schools. Yesterday, we went with him for the job fair, and he does a fantastic job every time that we have met. I know that it's a person that is very involved with the students of Laredo, and we welcome you always here. Mr. Rogelio Treviño, Executive Director of South Texas Workforce. Also, we have Mr. Rogelio Garcia, Executive Director for, hold on for the title, we're going to take about 5 minutes for this one. Executive Director of CCMR, Advanced Academics and Schools of Innovation. Mr. Garcia, also a chapter for education and all the staff. Very capable staff, and thank you very much, Mr. Garcia, for everything that you do. Also, we have Mr. Oscar Perez, Executive Director for School Safety. Mr. Perez. The one that checks that we're all following the protocols, so on and so forth. So thank you very much, sir. And we also have My boss, my direct boss, Mr. Jose Cerda, Executive Director for Secondary Education, Mr. Cerda. And finally, Mr. Raul, no, not finally, because I see Rosina Silva, Director for Counseling. How are you, Mr. Silva? And Mr. Raul Gomez, Director of Special Education, sir. And also, our Director of Communication, Ms. Veronica Castillo. All of these individuals that are here today, along with the students and teachers that do the greatest job of all, Ms. Gutierrez and Ms. Ibarra, thank you so much for everything that you have done for us today. We know that what we are about to display today is in good hands because of everything that you do. So thank you so much. And thank you so much, everybody, for your presence. It is always a good thing to see the community come together, the business side, the educational side, and of course our students and our teachers to come together to do this very important work, which is educating them. And without further ado, I will now pass the microphone to Ms. Monica Garcia. Oh, one more thing. Before Ms. Garcia come, Ms. Garcia. But I also would like to recognize the presence of Mr. R.J. Garza, El Metro Transit Director. Sir, how are you? Recently came to the city, correct? And we hope that you're having a warm welcome, Laredoans. I don't know if you have been here before, but we like carne asada, so if anybody else invites you to something different, please let them know that you're waiting for the real treatment, the carne asada, okay? Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Saloa, obviously always giving me a very warm welcome. And I always feel at home once I come into Cigarroa High School because like I've told many people in the past, and I even say it today, this is the gem of the South. This is what created the South, and this is, who we are. This new JET grant that we're receiving, it's already for the third year that we're getting monies that, spearhead right into the hands of our students. And to me, that is something great because it gives opportunity and hope for them, to begin the process of going to work, but also getting the opportunity to go into higher education. I mean, I only wish, we would have these opportunities before in life. Obviously, they were not available. Right now, the message, that I give my kids, and I say my kids because, they're my kids here, is basically that, the opportunities that they have are endless. They can have so many things with CT programs, with dual enrollment programs. I mean, before we didn't have none of this. None of this existed. Well, what used to exist, and this is a message for you all so y'all can know, before it was just our 4-year education in high school, your high school diploma, and you were all set to do what you needed to do. Many of the graduating students that left Cigarroa back when, a lot of them went straight into the workforce because, unfortunately, they had to. But right now, what we're trying to do is give you opportunities so you can start learning how important it is to get these certifications, so you can start getting out there and basically making a difference alongside all of us. So it's important. It's important what we do. It's important, to take that opportunity and not take it in stride. Obviously, the commissioner, we have him here today, and we're very thankful that you came and visited our school today and came and gave us this great, and give us just a lot of money. But, we're very thankful for always, considering, Cigarroa High School and of course our other high schools, because what you're doing is basically giving opportunity and hope to these kids. So with that, we do give you a very, very heartfelt thank you, because we can't do it, by ourselves. We always have to count with people like you, and obviously, the Survey Representative's Office, which are very, very, always helping, our school district and on. But I also want to take the time to thank Ms. Ibarra and her staff over there, because she's like this spitfire. Always, pushing, our kids, and I'm just so happy for that. And the entirety of the staff in Cigarroa High School, and everybody that comes together as a team to make these dreams realities. So I'm not going to take more of your time, because probably I can talk about my students all the time, but my message to my students, that if you can please stand. So my message to you all is, take every opportunity life gives you, because it's with that opportunity that you're going to create your dream. So with that, thank you, and pass it over to you. So now I'm going to present our fearless leader, because I was right, Dr. Sylvia Rios.
Thank you so much for being here today, because you are a witness to all of the great things that happen every day at Laredo ISD. Right now, in speaking to the commissioner, we talked about a narrative. Do we tell our story? Do each one of you tell your story, and where you've been, and where you are now, and where you hope to be? I'm so proud looking at you, and I'm proud of all the people who gather together to make the dream work. And when we talk about opportunities, I just want to keep on saying over and over, Laredo ISD is a gem in our entire South Texas area, because we can afford the most opportunities possible in all of this area. Our latest technology is here. We find it here. We don't have to just be thinking about it and praying for it. I will tell you that these opportunities come to every single student, not just those that are in special schools. Every single one of our high schools, every single one of our middle schools actually affords pathways where students can design their skill set, their experiences from school to career. And school to career means just that. That set of career pathways are set and designed by our schools, supported by our partners. Thank you, partners, for being here, for making our dreams a reality. Because I know that as an educator, we share that dream of creating opportunities for every single one of you guys. We want you to be able to find that little niche in the world where you are your own special person. And maybe you can also guide the dreams of those that are going to follow after you. And that's what's important, creating that dream, but not just putting it on paper, supporting that dream, putting our resources to work. At Laredo ISD, we have 6 early college high schools. We only have a population right now, because of COVID, 20,700 kids. We used to have 24,000. What am I proud of? The fact that our little itty-bitty ones know and understand what virtual reality is. I'm proud of the fact that our little itty-bitty ones start thinking about STEM. They start thinking about STEAM activities. They start thinking about careers everywhere, not just here in Laredo. Obviously, we want to support our community, but think about that. And Ms. Garcia is so right. When I graduated, it was like, okay, you graduated, you have a diploma, now decide where you want to go. And I will tell you this, my class of 73, a long time ago, everybody here is probably younger than me, I will tell you that the class of 73 at Hebronville High School had a brand new counselor. And that brand new counselor did not know, nice man, but did not know where to tell me, Sylvia Rios, valedictorian of the class, hey, you're valedictorian, you're Hispanic, you scored a 28 on your ACT, you know what, you can go to college. My twin sister, Cynthia, salutatorian, nobody told us, we just went, because, and get this, we just went and faced experiences that we never knew existed. We were scared half the time. Look at the difference now. You are experiencing opportunities that no one ever else had, particularly in my generation. I'm not saying that no one went to college in Hebbronville. We have neurosurgeons, we have engineers, but I don't know if that was in spite or despite. We had those opportunities because someone dreamed, and it was probably a teacher in my time. Now you have a force of teachers, parents, administrators, partners, everyone wanting to lift you up. And that's how we do it. We lift each other up when we work together. So thank you so much, partners, and in particular, Commissioner Alvarez. I'm so happy that you are here, and Ms. Garcia and Mr. Garza. Yes, I found out in the span of a few minutes that my first job as a teacher was in Harlingen. And Harlingen, when it only had one high school. So they can tell you that they have other high schools now, but I was there when there was only one high school. Those opportunities were given to me, and I hope to continue serving, supporting, and creating that dream. But that dream is not possible unless we continue working together. You guys, you're gonna walk the graduation line in about 4 weeks, not a little bit more than that. And in those weeks coming ahead, you're gonna wear all your, stuff that says you did this, you did that. But that was the past. What I want you to think of is an imaginary stole, an imaginary set of chords that say, what will you achieve? Where are you going from this point forward? Because the past informs the present, but more than anything else, it builds the future. So thank you so much for being here today, ladies and gentlemen. And I already have it in my head that we're going to be looking at more STEM careers for ladies, young ladies. I'm looking at scholarships from some partners here. I'm looking for additional funding grants. And I'm looking for the continuous work of our CCMR staff, principals, educators, directors. You make it happen for every single child, whether they happen to be a regular education child, a special needs child. We're here for each other. Laredo ISD is the place to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rios. Like always, very inspiring. And now I would like to invite to the podium Mr. Rogelio Treviño. You look a little bit surprised, but you're here, sir. Okay? I'm just following the script. I know that you have something very good to tell us, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. I am here, so, okay. No, well, good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for inviting me. It's truly an honor, and I'm just really so happy to be able to continue to work these partnerships that we do. As the director of the Local Workforce Development Board, our job is to ensure that we work as an intermediary between our local businesses, our employers, and our schools, our training providers, our education and training providers, and ensuring that our labor force, our students, the people that are getting ready to go into those careers, that we work as an intermediary and bring them together and ensure that our labor force is prepared to meet the needs of our employers and our businesses. That message that I've been hearing right now about resources not being available back in those days, when I was in high school here in Laredo, there were only 2 high schools in Laredo. Cigarroa did not exist when I was in high school. I'm not going to say what high school I was, but if you cut me, I'll bleed green and gold. But again, those resources were not there. Yesterday we held a career fair, and I need to thank LISD. We had almost 400 students there, and again, the partnership that you guys offer. And our team at the Workforce Center, I was congratulating them because it was a fantastic event. We had 40 employers, and we had all the students from LISD. And I said, guys, you guys are doing a great job. And they said, LISD approached us. LISD came to us and they said they want this for their students. So to the students, I want y'all to know that you have so many people that care for you and that want the best for you and are bringing these resources now to help you guys get the best education and training that you can do. So again, I'm not going to talk much longer, but thank you all for the partnership, and we're always ready to help. And as a Workforce Development Board, we're here to help you get ready for those careers, and then we'll help you to match it with the employers. Thank you.
And before we go to our guest of honor, we would like to call to the stand Ms. Edna Sepulveda, Director of South Texas Training.
Good morning. My name is Edna Sepulveda. I'm the Director for South Texas Training Center. Today I brought two of our instructors, Mary Sandra Brunella. She is our LVN. She teaches the nurse aid and basic rehab courses. And I have Jennifer Ayala. She teaches our phlebotomy and EKG courses as well. And this is for the patient care technician program we have at South Texas Training Center. On behalf of the owner, Ms. Ida Silva, she was a founder of South Texas Training here in Laredo. She would like for me to extend a big thank you to LISD and the workforce for the opportunity to apply additional education to LISD students and of course Cigarroa High School. The vision of South Texas Training is to empower students to succeed and follow their goals, whether it be to further their education or go directly to the workforce. I feel very at home because I'm a graduate of Cigarroa High School. Yeah. I graduated in 1985. Oh my God, baby. Thank you. So I'm very privileged and honored and humbled that I get to speak at, a Cigarroa High School event. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would come back and speak to not only the students, but to everyone here. Thank you to LISD, Cigarroa High School, and Texas Workforce. Thank you.
Cigarroa is everywhere. It truly is. We have, yes, you're telling us and I'm telling you too. It is true. I'm really confirming what you're saying, because everywhere that we look at, we have people that have graduated from Cigarroa High School, and kids, that's the biggest example that you can follow. Know that anything that you want, you can achieve. And these are proof of those things. And now, without further ado, Mr. Julian Alvarez, please come and give us some words of wisdom, sir.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that y'all didn't make the podium taller than I was. That's the first thing I look at whenever I go speak somewhere, is that the podium's not taller than I am. Because they always say, I heard the guy, but I never saw him. No, thank you for allowing me to be here. So we have some products of people from Harlingen as well. Ms. Rios said she started her education there. We have the gentleman who just started. His wife is from Harlingen. So we got a couple of Cardinals in the crowd as well. But I guess the reason I brought that up is what an exciting day for Laredo. What an exciting day. Just earlier today, not even an hour ago, I presented Laredo College with a $304,000 check for diesel mechanic instruction. Isn't that amazing? And so that he's interested as well. I mean, isn't that crazy that in one day, in less than 2 hours, that we were out here and we were awarding the school district and the local college with a $600,000 total grant. And that's just one day. That's not even including the grants that you all are receiving. That's not even including the grants that you all are receiving other days of the week that we're not here. That part of Rogelio's charge is he's working with adult education and literacy. Those individuals that have issues with English and math skills, the tutoring, I mean, that comes through our local workforce boards. Or how about childcare? Did you know that we serve 130,000 kids every day? Not every month, not every year. We serve 130,000 kids every day. And many of them are workers here that need to drop off their kids, or some of our students, right? And so we're an array of programs around the state of Texas. Let me tell you about some of the other things that you guys are a part of. First, the reason we're here, the JET grant. Do you know that you're one of 2 high schools in the state of Texas that have received the grant multiple times? Multiple times, maybe more than once. Do you know that Region 1, in the last couple of rounds, and Sonia Valdez, who's our grant writer, is here with us as well. And I just can't say enough great things about her and all the grants that she's put together working closely with Rogelio. But do you know that, I mentioned the multiple grants that you all have received. I mean, you all have received 3 of them. And some of the grants that you've received, I don't even know what that machine's called that's used for nursing, the one where it looks like a cadaver or that 3D printer thing. That's amazing. Do you know that you were the first school in the state that had that? And now you got schools like Raymondville ISD that actually now have implemented that. If you think of all the technology and all of the grant awards, the JET grants that have been awarded, if you look at where they've all been kindly awarded, you'll see that they've all gone to the Valley. The last time you all received an award, sir, I know you want me to get off because you're looking at your phone, but let me tell you. I wanted to put you on the spot like you put me. No. Yeah, you already had your time. Let me go. Right, Ms. Garcia? No, I'm just kidding with you. He's fun. I mean, I just love being here in Laredo. But do you know that the picture that we took of the students that actually had that thing, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but do you know that everywhere that I've gone around the country, not the state, but when I've gone to St. Louis, Missouri, or when I've gone to Sacramento, California, and I talk about what we do as far as training, that we start as early as high school, and this is the equipment that we award students with. We went to a company in Mississippi, and the president of this company who wanted to come to Texas said, the reason that we're in Mississippi is because they have the river, and we do this training with our adult learners. Here's the curriculum we share with our adult learners. And I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. And he says, let me ask you, Mr. Alvarez, you want us to come to Texas. Why do you want us so bad? What kind of training can you provide us? And I said, this stuff that you've laid out, we do this in high school. Can you believe that? And they were like, wow, they came to Texas. So during the pandemic, companies like Tesla, Oracle, Bechtel, some of the major companies that are not just national, but global companies around the country came to Texas. Why? Because we have a skilled workforce. I mean, if the governor can bring Tesla in, it's not that he's just bringing them in and says, okay, Julian, now we got to get the workers. I'm like, we already have them. And you know what? They're not all coming from Austin. Just last week when we had the opening of Tesla there in Austin, do you know that I was shocked on the number of people that came from the border and that are working at Tesla? McAllen, Edinburgh, Hammondville, Corpus. That's crazy. And they need healthcare professionals. So yes, you've seen your settings are in hospitals and nursing homes and places like that. Let me tell you, right now, the folks at SpaceX, they're dying for you to graduate. Because they want you to work there. SpaceX has their own healthcare infirmary there. SpaceX has their own food service technology. They need people out there to feed their folks. They got people from all over the world that are there, from India, China, Egypt, you name it. And so they have needs, special needs for food and coffee. Well, the people of Brownsville don't know how to make Indian food. They don't know how to make food from Egypt. So we need folks like you all with the curriculums that you set forth to accommodate. And they said it earlier. You all have been listening to what industry is asking. Not one student that's going to graduate in this next class, whether it's at this high school or any of the surrounding schools, cannot say they can't find a job. because they're all there. Do you know that we have more job openings than we have job seekers? Let me give you something that's even more shocking for the instructors and the CAPE directors that are here. Do you know what the unemployment rate was before the pandemic? Can anybody tell me what the unemployment rate was before the pandemic? It was 3.7. That is really good. When economists say that usually 5% is where we start measuring, because we got people that are severely disabled, people that have retired, people that just can't work anymore. So that's where you get that 5%. So for Texas to be 3.7 is amazing. You know what our unemployment rate in Texas is right now? It's 4.7, and you're going to see that it's going to continue to drop. Why? Because of what you put together here in graduating these students with an industry-recognized credential that's going to get them employable. And one of the things that I appreciate that you say is that you're not going to get jobs, you're getting careers. You're building off of that. You know what the unemployment rate in Laredo is? You know what the unemployment rate in Laredo is? It's 4.1. You're less than the state. That means everybody's working. Everyone's trained in this community. I don't know if we really can fathom that. Some of the technologies that you guys are offering early on, no one else does. I was shocked to hear, and I didn't know this, but do you know that we sponsor First Robotics? Those robotic competitions that take place? Do you know that we had a first place state champion, all-female robotics team that won from Cigarroa? Super nice. That is super cool. That I know you are. But you all need to go out there and share the story. Look, you don't go to a place to eat because of a billboard. Do we go to the Olive Garden because we see an Olive Garden billboard? We go to a place because of what we've learned and what we've heard. Continue to brag about this great community that you live in. People everywhere are talking about what we're doing in Laredo, the ports of entry that you got. You know, the commercials, the commercial buildings that you're putting out, the demand for these highly skilled occupations like logistics, truck driving. Those are in high demand. We don't have that problem when it comes to logistics here in Texas, because we're training all these individuals. People like Rogelio right now, our own local workforce boards. Do you know that we're training people that are incarcerated at Huntsville prison, a male prison, or in Lockhart, an all-female prison? We're training them while they're behind bars so that when they get out, they're going to be working. And they're not going to be working at McDonald's, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing wrong with McDonald's. Nothing wrong with Whataburger. Nothing wrong with working at those fine institutions. Those are good for people that want a job. But when you have someone who's been incarcerated, which, by the way, from Laredo down to Port Isabel, we have the highest number of people that have been formally incarcerated. We need to train them. All I ask is that you give them a chance. But that's what Rogelio and his team are doing. These people are putting their money where their mouth is, making it available for those people to succeed. That's what makes us very unique. I know a lot of people as I travel and I meet with people in academia that come from UCLA or in Stanford when we were in Sacramento. These people are doctors, doctor. I wasn't a doctor. I don't have a PhD degree. But what I do know is how you can put people to work by training them and providing quality training. These nurses that are going to graduate are taking a state board. They're not just graduating and that's it. These are stackable credentials, and people are dying to have you working for them. So thank you for that. So, it gives me great pleasure. As you know, I love what we do here. And I love the fact that I work for one of the best governors. And I'm not here to do anything that's political. I'm just telling you, the fact that Governor Abbott appointed someone like me, who looks like me, who's from the border, to represent you. My dad in Harlingen lives 4 miles from the South Texas border in Los Indios. But the fact that he appointed somebody who understands the challenges that we have, first generation, Spanish-speaking, uneducated parents, and to put me in a role like this, I am totally grateful and forever grateful to him because I've been able to listen to folks like you all. Ms. Garcia, who was in my office years ago, to tell us what the needs were of the district. But this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for great leadership, like Richard Raymond and Tracy King. Those individuals who allow that funding to be available. Do you know that we're the only state in the country that offer the JET program? That means that we allow equipment to be not only in the high schools, but in the colleges. That's what I mean by marketing this great state that we live in. So, thank you for allowing me to be here. Sonia, great work that you continue to do, not only in this area, but Sonia has been responsible for grants that have gone to, you may have heard of some of these companies. Some of them are here in your backyard. But the one that we take, I mean, they're all important. But the fact that we give companies like Tesla, SpaceX, SATA, some of these great companies that are around the area, grants for training, what does that tell you? That tells you that they're invested in what we're putting out in this great state of ours. So, thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you, and to the superintendent, I have a little gift for her. So this lapel pin I wore during this past legislative session, I wore it all year. And it's a token of my appreciation because how much I love this school. And they told me the wrong color today. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and tell my secretary she's going to be in timeout when I get back. But she's in there a lot lately. I'm going to give her my lapel pin that I wore during the session. So again, thank you for allowing me to be here. And I look forward to coming back with more grants. I'm going to put this on you. You're welcome.
So we continue to expect great things from him on our behalf, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the hard work that you all are doing. I wouldn't like for this to continue without recognizing another person that was instrumental also in the writing of this grant, Mr. Scott Roberts. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you do for the district, sir. We know that you are the main, you're like the Wizard of Oz. You're behind the curtains and you do a lot of the work that needs to be done, but it's greatly appreciated, sir, and we know that this happens in big part with what you do. And also, I want to say hello to Ms. Elenisa Vasquez, which is one of our people in charge, administrator in charge of PDEC, and Ms. Rocio Lopez from the Sabas Perez STEM Academy, that she had to step out because of administrative duties. Yes, we can clap for her too. Very good. And now I would like to invite the people that are going to sign the check to come here to the front because this is the big moment that we all have been waiting for.